Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to do a quick video on the Summer Wells case. I realize I have not done an update video since I did the first video on Summer over a month ago. And the reason I haven't is because I know you all don't really need me to. There are tons of people covering the Summer Wells case now. And I guess that's kind of why I haven't done it, because I'm still following the case, but I tend to keep covering the cases that aren't getting that much attention. But like most of you, I just can't stop checking for updates on this case, and I did want to give you all this little update. Candus has done another interview with the Rogersville Review, so I'm going to go ahead and read that to you now. If you took her, just bring her back. You don't even have to tell me that you did it. Just bring her back. Say that you found her walking. I don't care. Just bring her back. That's all I care. So pleaded Candus Wells late Sunday afternoon in regards to her 5-year-old daughter, Summer, who went missing 5 weeks ago, seemingly vanishing within 5 minutes of last being seen. I don't understand it, the child's mother said. It don't make no sense. Candus recalled June 15th, the day Summer disappeared. Candus's mother, also named Candus, but who's nicknamed Candy, needed to see a doctor in Kingsport about her aching knee. We went to Gatlinburg, and the boys accidentally kept tripping over her sore knee, Candus said. She had an artificial knee replaced, and if you twist it the wrong way, it pops out and it hurts really bad. And she couldn't figure out why it wouldn't stop hurting after a while, so I took her to the ER that morning. After taking Candy to Holston Valley, Candus and Summer went to visit some family friends in Kingsport. They invited me over to sit at their house while I waited for my mom to get done so we weren't sitting in the hot truck. So I went over there, Candus said. I was sitting and Mom called me to come get her, said Candus, adding that the 15-year-old son of her friend, which we all know that is Hunter, asked to go along. I went and picked her up, and then we drove all the way across town and dropped her prescription off. They said it'd be about 30 minutes at the most. So we were like, well, instead of sitting here in the car where it's hot, it was baking hot, we'll just go to Warriors and let Summer swim for a little while. Like I said, we weren't even planning on going swimming or fishing or anything, Candus said. So they went to Warriors past State Park and let Summer and the boys swim in the cove just south of the park's horse stables. I figured 15 or 20 minutes in the water, run a little bit of energy out instead of sitting in the truck, Candus said. One of the last videos shot of Summer before her disappearance is of her swimming in that cove. There has been much speculation in social media about what happened next. According to accounts, Summer went underwater and the boy dove in to save her. Candus said that didn't happen. In the video, Summer is seen splashing in the lake, then stands up to reveal it's only about waist deep. That boy lied on everything that happened, Candus said, because the place I was at, there was no rocks. She didn't slide on no rocks and fall in the water. She wasn't under the water for 20 seconds or more like he said. That's just a bunch of lies he made up. I don't know why he did that. There was no incident at all. That don't even make no sense why he would even say that. And the video that I took is the same exact time that they were in the water playing, Candus said. If Summer had fallen, she'd jump right back up. That's what don't make no sense to me at all. There's so many rumors and lies going around, none of it even makes sense. Couch police, that's what I call them. After the swim, it was back across Fort Henry Drive to Walgreens, then a quick stop at a grocery store. We went back and picked up my mom's prescription and went to Priceless. I dropped off Hunter, the boy, after Priceless, and we came home. And then me and my mom, the boys, were in watching YouTube like they always do. My mom says, let's rearrange and plant the flowers. She goes, well, we know the boys aren't going to help us. I know Summer will. So I yelled for Summer. She was in the house with the boys. She comes out and she was planting flowers with us, Candus said. The flowers were put in planters next to Grandma Candy's camper, with Summer handling some of the tasks, Candus said. She put all the rocks on top, put Chased in there. She did all the rocks herself. We went into Grandmother's after we were done. She asked Grandma for a piece of candy. Grandma gave her a piece of candy. She told me she wanted to go back over with her brothers, so I literally walked her halfway between the camper and the house, Candus said. I watched her go in the door, and I could see her brothers at the kitchen table. When she went in, I walked over and yelled at the boys. I said, watch Summer, I'll be right back. I've got to fix Mom's knee brace. I was standing right there at the camper. I was over there fixing it. Literally, you can see my house from the camper door. She did not walk back out that front door. Candus estimated it took maybe 2 to 5 minutes to fix Mom's brace. When I got done, I come back in. I asked the boys, "Where's your sister?" They said, "She went downstairs to play with her toys, Mom." I said, "Okay," and I went and hollered down the steps. I always holler for them down there, and she didn't holler back. I said, "Are you sure she's down there?" They said, "Yeah, she just went down there." So I went down there and I searched. I looked everywhere I could. Then I went through the house and I kept calling for her, yelling for her, everything. I came out here, outside, yelling for her, everything else, and she was nowhere. So I called Don because I was freaking out, Candus said. Don, Summer's father, was installing drywall at a job site in Jonesboro. I said, "I can't find Summer. Get home now," Candus recalled. He was like, "Call 911. So I dropped my phone because I had to run over and get Mom's phone and dial 911 because her AT&T phone is the only one that works out here to call 911. So I called them and told them what's going on. Before the cops even came out, I went down and told my neighbors, "Summer is missing. Will you help me look?" Just in case she did wander off. But I knew in the back of my mind she's never wandered off. She never went nowhere without me. She'll ask me to do something before she even goes and does it. And she's scared to go in the woods herself because we've told her time and time again because of the bears and snakes, Candus said. I sent the older boys down through the creek. If they've got a walkie-talkie and their buck knife, they can go down through there. I sent all of them searching, and I went out in my mom's truck and went all the way down by the church, then went all the way down the other way, and I didn't see nobody even out and about, Candus said. Then I went all the way back in the holler as far as the truck can go, and I didn't see nothing back in there either. When I was coming back up out of the holler, the cops were coming up in my driveway, so I just followed them up in here. I don't recall if Don was here before the police got here or if he was here at the same time they showed up, said Candus. We searched everywhere we could possibly search. They were out here for 3 or 4 days straight, searching 5,000 square acres. They searched all this mountain terrain all the way down through here. They busted into my shed down there and destroyed it, she said. What really gets me is when they were searching for her, why didn't they make the neighbors let them go in their sheds and buildings and stuff? Why didn't they make them unlock it? Some people were like, "No, you can't search my property. Why would you do that? There's a missing kid. Why would you not just let them search? It just don't make no sense," said Candus, who grew frustrated at times with the searchers. Okay, now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I remembered in one of the press releases that the TBI did that the sheriff was saying that they hadn't had to get any warrants or anything and that all of the neighbors were more than happy to search or to let the police search. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. I could have swore I heard that, but okay, I'll go ahead and keep reading. They looked in every vehicle I had, underneath every vehicle I had. They opened that tote right there, and all it's got in it is a bunch of crafts and stuff. You couldn't even fit nobody in that if you wanted to. They opened that like 7 times. They even went so small to look in my mom's sewer tank of her camper. That hole's like an inch in diameter circle, Candus gestured with her thumb and index finger. "How did you get that 4-foot baby in that hole?" she said. Candus said she thought the police canines would have had better success if she had been notified to corral the family's 8 dogs. Okay, so not 20, like a lot of people have been saying online. Candus says there's 8. They just done some stupid underhand stuff. When they brought the cadaver dogs up, why didn't they warn me ahead of time to find a place for these dogs to go? They just brought them up. "Oh, you got dogs? You guys already knew I had dogs." That didn't pan out because you've got these 8 adult dogs wanting to smell all these new dogs you just brought up on my property. So that's going to mess up the cadaver dogs because it's not going to know which way to go, Candus said. Summer's mother also expressed frustration with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. TBI kept questioning me. They asked me the same thing, wanting me to run through my whole timeline of my day. They did that like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, you guys still don't get it. If I was going to lie, I would have to think about it. It just comes out. I don't have to sit here and think about what I did. I know what I did. I just spit it out to you 20,000 times, Candus said. A liar has to think up something. I passed my polygraph test and everybody is like, oh, you failed. No, I didn't fail. The first time I did it, they couldn't really do it with me because they threw me in the back of a squad car like I did something wrong and hauled me up there. I was already distressed over Summer being missing and then they did that to me. So that just made more fuel to the fire and made me more upset. So by the time I got there, I was crying and shaking and just couldn't do it, Candus said. So they told me they'll give me a few days to calm down and get some sleep and stay off your phone because that's the worst thing you can do is be on your phone. And so I did that. And then I passed. It's not like I failed anything. People are like, oh, she failed. No, I didn't fail. The only people that had to do it were me, Donnie, and Mom. All three of us passed. They took the boys to a different place, someplace over by Greenville somewhere. A child advocate or something like that talked to the boys. The boys pretty much told them exactly what I told them, and I didn't even talk to the boys, Candus said. All the boys had to recall was Summer coming in the house and going downstairs. Because they got so hooked on watching YouTube, they watched Minecraft videos on YouTube. I'm like, don't you guys ever get bored with that, Candus said. Okay, side note here, no, kids do not get bored with watching Minecraft. I know this firsthand. They took my TV because it's hooked up to my Wi-Fi, like they're going to find something on my TV. It's like they're digging for nothing. They're grasping at straws and not really trying. Everything that they did to me was backwards. They didn't shut down none of the roads until the next day. I mean, anybody could have been in and out of here, gone by the time they got down here. It takes them a good 40 minutes to get from Rogersville out here, she said, adding that there hadn't been any recent contact from law enforcement. Okay, that says had, but I'm pretty sure she means hadn't. I haven't even spoken to them in like 2 weeks. You'd think they'd at least tell me, update me on something, but they don't even update me on nothing. I asked them to go check all these barns and sheds that have been out here for years that anybody could be in, Candus said. I tried to get them to go check out this guy who was trying to camp out here and try to take over my neighbor's property. They were like, oh yeah, we checked him out. It's like they don't even really care if they find her or not. That's what it seems to me because we're poor, I guess. I guess if we had lots of money, they'd do better work, I guess. That's the way I look at it. I don't know. For some reason, TBI don't believe that she was abducted, Candus said. That's what don't make sense to me because she's not here. She don't just disappear. I mean, I've seen movies where people just start vanishing off Earth, but you know, them are so fake. But somebody had to have taken her. That's the only conclusion I could come to. She had to have either somebody snuck in the basement or she walked out the back. She'll come out the basement and walk around the house to her swing. She's always did that. She's never wandered ever away from here. She's never went out of this yard at all, Candus said. Neither the basement door or the lower half of the driveway loop is visible from the area between Candy's camper and the Wells home. The slope of the hill is too great and the house blocks the view. To compound matters, although there are 8 dogs on the property, they don't bark much. Candus was asked if they were good watchdogs. Hell no, she replied. They're lazy. Anybody that came up here that could have took her could have fed the dogs down there, lower part of the yard. These dogs are so friendly and love everybody. They don't know strangers. Indeed, contrary to expectations, the dog greeted this reporter like a known friend and hardly barked during the hour plus on the property. So that's another question answered. I know a lot of people, I know there was rumors there was the 20 dogs, 8 dogs. And this reporter's saying, that the dogs were friendly. They didn't, bark or try to bite his face off when he was there. So as the hours tick by and more days pass, Candus can only wonder. Everything goes through my mind, she said. You go about the what ifs. What if you did this? What if you did that? There's just all kinds of crap that goes through your mind. I didn't even know how close that we lived to these freaking sex offender people. There's literally one that could walk to my house in 8 minutes. I didn't even know they existed this close to my house. I don't believe anybody anymore. I've gotten to the point where I can't trust nobody because everybody I talk to either twists my words around or they do something. They put out more lies, and it's making it worse and harder on TBI to even find her, Candus said, adding that the stress is affecting her 3 sons as well. I won't let these boys outside if I'm not out there. I try to take them out of here so they can get their mind off of it. In the summer, that's all that I do with the kids because it's summertime. They're not at school, so here's a chance when they're not at school and they get to enjoy themselves. When we go, I smile for the kids, but I'm not having no fun. I'll get in the water with them, but that don't mean I'm having fun, Candus said, of the constant knowledge that Summer is missing. If you look at all the pictures, she was always smiling. They're always happy kids. I mean, they'll get into fights because that's what brothers do, but other than that, they're always happy no matter what they're doing. Wyatt tells me, Mom, I feel like if I would have went downstairs and played with Summer when she asked, she'd still be here, I said. You can't blame yourself, son. I said, nobody knows what the next day is going to hold. They smile to put on a good show, but other than that, I know they're really upset. They ask me every day, is Summer coming home today? I can't answer that. I don't know. I find myself sitting out here until midnight or 1 o'clock at night, just hoping maybe that whoever took her or whatever happened, she'll come wandering back up the driveway to us, Candus said. So that's the entirety of that interview. And whether or not you think that Candus or Don had anything to do with Summer's disappearance, that interview really pulled at my heartstrings. As a mother, I can't imagine not knowing. And if I was innocent, if I had not done anything, and every single thing I did, every single thing any of my friends or my family or everything did, if that was just being put under a microscope, I can't imagine having to go through that. So, that's just, I don't know. That interview got to me. I don't know how you all feel about it, but I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments, and you'll probably tell me what an idiot I am for believing it, but I don't care. So earlier this evening, Chris McDonough from the interview room interviewed Hunter, and I know people are calling him H and like other weird names. Everybody knows his name is Hunter, so I'm just going to say Hunter, but enough people already doing that. So in this interview, I repeat, according to Hunter, Candus texted Hunter that day saying her mom Candy was in the hospital. Hunter invited them over to hang out and wait there until Grandma Candy got out. So, side note, Allie left that out of her interview she did with Unmasked, didn't she? Or did I just miss that part? Let me know. So Candus and Summer showed up at Hunter and Allie's house and hung out for a while, and this was around 10 or 11 a.m. from what Hunter can remember. When they got ready to leave, Candus mentioned that they were going to go fishing, and Hunter asked if he could go. Allie gave him permission to do so. Candus changed Summer into a swimsuit in Allie's house. Another side note. I'm wondering, because again, I've seen the interview with Allison, the Unmasked, where she talks about, Candus and how she wasn't a good mom and how the kids were in bad conditions and she didn't treat them right. So why would Allie let Hunter go with Candus? According to Allie, Candus is a terrible mother. Allie has called DCS on them multiple times. Why would you let your kid go with them? Just an observation. So back to the timeline. They left Allie's, picked up Grandma Candy at the hospital, then went to the Walgreens drive-thru. So while they're in the drive-thru at Walgreens, Candus apparently got a call from Don, and Don was telling Candus about a man that had been up on the property for about a week, stalking and trying to touch little kids. They beeped the guy's name out, but then mentioned some other guy named Billy that Allie says is an old drunk that was sleeping in a shed on the Wells property. This guy would apparently fight with his wife, get kicked out, and go sleep in one of the Wells outbuildings until he was later arrested. Hold on. What the heck? This is new information. To me, anyway. Had y'all heard that tidbit already? I haven't been on the Facebook pages in a while because they just make me mad with all the craziness. So maybe I'm out of the loop and this is old news. The guy on the property is old news. I don't know. But if it's new, I can hear people typing away on Facebook already. So anyway, they're in the drive-thru at Walgreens. They had to wait for the prescription for 30 to 35 minutes, so they went to a nearby discount tobacco store to get cigarettes. Candus bought cigarettes, some vape stuff, and one can of Twisted Tea. So they drove straight to the horse stables near Warrior Park, I guess. That's where they swam. And they swam. Hunter asked Candus if he could have the Twisted Tea, and she said yes. Hunter and Candus were both hitting the vape she bought. Grandma Candy waited in the car. Candus and Hunter chit-chatted by the water. Candus was on TikTok, and they watched Summer swim. Grandma Candy did eventually join them by the water. Hunter says Summer did go under the water. It scared him a little bit, so he jumped in the water and pulled her up real quick. But when she came up, she was laughing. She wasn't spitting up any water. She had only been under for maybe 4 seconds, according to him, not 60 seconds like everyone's been claiming. Maybe 15 minutes later, after they got there, they walked back to the vehicle. Summer was acting normal, according to Hunter. From the swimming area, they drove to the hippie house, which I guess is a place that sells vaping supplies and CBD stuff. Candus and Grandma Candy went in the hippie house. Hunter and Summer stayed in the car watching TikToks, and Summer was talking about LOL dolls and poppets. Candus came out of the hippie house 5 minutes later with more vapes. She gave one to Hunter. They left there and went back to Walgreens to get the prescription. At this time, he said Summer was sitting on a pillow because she was wet from swimming. From Walgreens, they went to Sonic to get slushies. From Sonic, they went to the grocery store Priceless, which we already know about. Candus and Grandma Candy went into the store. Hunter and Summer stayed in the car watching TikToks. Summer wasn't acting strange. She seemed fine. Hunter thinks Candus and Grandma were in the store for maybe an hour. Hunter says he can't recall if Summer was asleep or not when they got back to his home because he wasn't really paying attention, but he thought she was awake, and at one point he mentions he thought Summer got out of the car too. But in Allie's interview, Allie says Summer was asleep, so I don't know. But after this, Hunter goes in his house and Candus leaves. Hunter receives a call from Candus around 7:30 p.m. that evening informing him that Summer was missing. Hunter kind of thought Candus was messing with him, so he called his mom Allie to find out if it was real. Hunter says he hears from Candus again the next day saying she had to do another polygraph test. He didn't talk to her again after that because the TBI told him not to. However, Candus did stop by again and allegedly told him not to tell them about the twisted tea that she had given him. There is a lot more to the interview, and Hunter gives his opinion on things, but I'm not going to touch on all that. Go watch it. Again, I just wanted to give a quick summary of the timeline, I guess. That interview is linked in the description box. It's also in my community tab. Again, this timeline is all according to Hunter and what he can remember. I mean, a lot of it, I think, matches what Candus has said time-wise. I'd have to go back and read everything. There's just so much. But Candus did say she didn't give Hunter alcohol and that Summer never went underwater. But we don't know, guys. None of us were there. I still have no idea what I think happened to Summer, honestly. I go back and forth. The TBI knows a lot more than they're telling us, guaranteed. Do I think Summer's parents are involved? I hope not, but I don't know. I've watched the videos by the behavior panel and by John Kelly Profiler, where they analyze the interview with Candus and Don. They don't see deception. They don't see much deception. They're the experts. They're not nobodies like me. You know, people say, oh, Summer's parents are not crying. How do you know they're not bawling their eyes out when the camera's not on them? We don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. Maybe they did do something to Summer, or they could be completely innocent. Hopefully the TBI and Hawkins County Sheriff's Department can get it figured out. Could someone have abducted her in the small amount of time Candus wasn't with her? Possibly. People grab kids all the time and take off with parents close by. People also wander into the woods, you know, never to be seen again. Have you watched Missing 411? I mean, I know this is a 5-year-old kid, but we don't know. You know, according to the reporter that interviewed Candus recently, the dogs were friendly. They weren't barking in frantic attack mode, so they probably wouldn't have barked at another stranger. I really want to know, though, more about this creepy dude on the property. If Don really did call Candus and tell her that, because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it anywhere. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm sure some of you already have, as soon as you saw me show any amount of pity for Candus in her interview, but I'm sorry. It's it's heartbreaking when I think about, you know, what if she is innocent and all these people have been attacking her. I personally choose not to attack people unless there's proof that they are guilty. I don't know. I'm sorry. I guess I just have a heart. But most of you are awesome, but some of y'all, standing up on your pedestals with those pitchforks and torches in hand. But what we need to remember is Summer is still missing. She is what is important. We don't know what happened. Some of you think you do, but you don't. And we could speculate until the end of time, but without proof, without evidence, it doesn't mean anything. It's completely pointless. I probably, maybe, won't do another update unless the TBI releases something. Like I said, plenty of other YouTubers much bigger and much better than myself are covering this. I just really wanted to talk about it, I guess. None of my friends are really into this stuff, so I wanted to come talk to my YouTube friends about it. Don't forget to subscribe to and go watch the interview room, the behavior panel, and John Kelly Profiler. I'll link all of those channels below. If you want to watch some fact-based videos from channels that are covering Summer's case, I would suggest Leave It to Bieber and what's that other one? Hold on. Chasing Truth. I love them. There's no bullshit. I will link their channels below. Go check them out. Go subscribe. That's it for today. I'm going to edit this real quick, go read to my kid, and go to bed. Good night, everyone. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that. Thanks for watching. Bye.